Many thanks for joining us right here on Look Up Weekend. My name is... Many thanks for joining us right here on Look Up Weekend. Today being the 24th day of March 2024. My name is John Matava. Sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. We have a lot for you tonight in the bulletin, and you can be part of this bulletin by engaging us on our socials at Lookuptv. Let's get started. And we started on a sad note where 5 people lost their lives, with at least 9 others nursing serious injuries in separate accidents in Kirinyaga County. The first accident, which claimed 4 lives, happened along the Gatuto Road after the driver of a 14-seater matatu lost control of the vehicle, leading to the fatal accident. In a separate accident, 1 person lost his life after falling from a lorry.
Ikaelekea Kagio na watu wanne wamekufa. Imegonga mti ikaanguka. Tunataka iwekwe bam juu haina bam hata moja kutoka Karu Primary kwenda Gatuto iwekwe bam.
Messages of hope and truth marked the Palm Sunday celebrations across the country as Christian faithfuls gathered in various churches ahead of the Easter celebrations next weekend. Church leaders called for truce between the doctors and the government, calling upon the health crisis deepening in the government called upon to address the insecurity issue which is being witnessed in the North Rift region.
As Christian faithfuls across the globe marked Palm Sunday, the health crisis in the country marked the celebrations locally. The Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops has called for truce between the government and the striking medics to end patient suffering. Led by its chairperson, Bishop Martin Kivuva, the men of cloth noted that addressing the issues raised by the medics will ease the suffering of patients across the country.
Dialogue is always the best, tulisema hivyo. Na naamini kwamba suluhu itapatikana. Nasi tunaomba serikali, tafadhali msiweke shingo ngumu kusema mpende msipende. Hii si njia nzuri ya kuleta maafikiano. Kwa hivyo kama kanisa, nia yetu ni ile nia ya mwananchi anayetaka hospitali zetu zirudie kama kawaida, ziwe na dawa, ziwe na wauguzi, kwa sababu hawa wakigoma, hasa public hospitals, mwananchi wa kawaida anaumia.
Eldoret Catholic Diocese Bishop Dominic Kimangich has called on the government to address the issue of banditry, which remains a thorn in the flesh across the North Rift region, with various schools closed down due to marauding bandits.
Pia na yale mambo ambayo yanatokea kule Kerio Valley, na tulikuzia kusema kwamba lazima tusaidie watu wa Kerio Valley wapate amani. Kwa hiyo tunasema wiki takatifu tungependa iwe ni wakati wa kuombea amani Kerio Valley, na kwamba hayo mambo tuweze kuikamilisha, ikamilike, imalizwe, kwa sababu sisi ni nchi moja, sisi ni wana Kenya, na tuko na serikali, tuko na wanasiasa, tuko na kila kitu. Mbona tusikae chini na kutatua hii shida ya Kerio Valley.
In Embu, Archbishop Anthony Muheria led youths in the 100th to St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, Carolina, Embu Diocese, observing that the youths are the future of this country. Muheria called on the youths to be steadfast and conform to their spiritual teachings.
The Lord is inviting the young person. Can I believe in you? So today is a day of renewal for the young person. Is a day of recommitment for the young person.
Maureen Nyakirario Bosire, Lookuptv.
As the health crisis continues across the country, the Council of Governors, the health chairperson, the Tharaka Governor Muthomi Njuki, has called on the doctors to resume their duties as Ian Keitani now files. Njuki's sentiments come amid a reluctance from the KMPD officials to call off the strike as health services continue to be paralyzed in various hospitals in the country.
As medics in most parts of the country down their tools for the 11th day in a row, with the KMPDU officials remaining adamant that their concerns must be addressed, Tharaka Governor Muthomi Njuki, who doubles up as the Council of Governors health chairperson, has called on doctors to resume work, urging the union officials to engage with the government meaningfully as the government is ready to address their concerns.
Crisis ya madaktari, wengine wanasema kaunti inaweza kuwa na shida, national iko na shida, iko shida. Lakini ni shida ambaye haijatatuliwa na njia ambayo inafaa. One, madaktari wanafaa kwenda internship ama kufanya practice under qualified doctors. Hiyo ni kazi ya serikali kuu, watuma ni waende wafanyiwe practice na lazima walipe. Pili, kuna daktari waliandikwa wakati wa corona, inaitwa universal health staff. Corona iliisha na tuwezi wavuta mpaka itafutwe pesa ya kuandika permanent pensionable. Ni pesa mingi. Kwa sababu Kenya mzima ni watu, mishahara yao inafika bilioni 3. Hiyo ni pesa mingi. So madaktari union wamesema kama hao hawajaandikwa permanent and pensionable, kama wale madaktari wa internship wajawekwa internship, daktari watagoma mpaka ile siku itapatikana.
Speaking during a church service in Chegoria, the first-time governor questioned how the issues at hand have been addressed, noting that addressing some of the concerns raised would cost the government millions of money.
I appeal to the chair of health, Council of Governors. We are ready as a government to cooperate, but it is not possible to do it in one day. We must have a workable solution where we must trust each other. We say my internship tutafanya within the month of June, ama ifanywe mwezi wa August, kwanza kulipa ndio tupitishe budget. The union should understand. Tukisema universal health coverage hatuwezi kuandika na siku moja mpaka ikuwe gradual. Daktari mpaka waelewe. Because at the end of the day, tukienda mgomo mpaka patients wetu waishe, we are being retrogressive with our health sector, which we have done so much. Kwa hivyo nauliza union, hata kama tunaongea, tunagoma. Mgomo is a way of making a statement. By now we have heard you. Not only hearing you, we have felt you. We know you are crucial. We know your issues are not being met. And there is no way we can work retrogressively or any other way. We must work to ensure that your end of the bargain is met. Lakini na nyinyi, rudini kazini ili watu wetu waache kukufa kwa sababu ya kukosa matibabu ya udaktari.
As medics continue with their strike, Kenyans across the country continue to feel the heat, with health services continuing to be paralyzed across the country, with no light at the end of the tunnel. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
President William RUTO has reiterated his commitment to ensuring that the affordable housing program succeeds. Addressing congregants in SEK Bahati Church in Nairobi, the head of state said Kenya will have 1 million new home owners in the next 5 years. And as Brian Amwa reports, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja assured the residents of Bahati that they will not be evacuated to pave way for the affordable housing. Instead, they will be relocated for a short period of time.
As the affordable housing project elicits different reactions across the country, President William Ruto now says the project will go on as planned, despite opposition and criticism.
Bishop amenisaidia kuniambia ya kwamba jameni, Musiniite majina mara Sakayo mara nani. And I want to tell you, I have no problem being called whatever name, so long as I achieve a better destiny for our country.
The head of state reiterated his commitment in ensuring the citizens become homeowners as opposed to renters, insisting that the lives of Kenyans will be dignified.
Inua wa Kenya wa chini, wale wanalipa rent, tunataka sasa walipe mortgage pole pole, badala ya kulipa miaka 20 alafu nyumba bado ni ya county ama ni ya mtu amekupatia, hiyo nyumba inakuwa yako na unaanza kuishi as an owner.
RUTO says he is committed to having 1 million homeowners in the next 5 years.
My commitment is that in the next 5 years, we should have 1 million new homeowners in Kenya, so that we can begin to dignify the people of Kenya by making sure that we organize them and we organize their livelihoods and their living conditions so that everybody lives in dignity.
Watu wana wasiwasi kwa hizi manyumba. Hawajui ni gani nabomolewa, ni gani inaenda. Ningetaka mclarify kwa sababu kuna wale wameishi hapa kama Bahati, kuna nyumba za city county government wameishi miaka mingi na hawajui kama zinaenda ama ziendi. Naomba uwe na mkutano na wakaaji wa Kaloleni, Botela, Jericho, Buruburu na hapa Bahati. Uclarify tu ndio watu wakue kwa amani.
When we build the houses, that house belongs to you. What you've been paying from the 50s or the 60s is your mortgage. Imeshalipwa. So ile nyumba ambayo tunajenga, tunawapatia, hakuna nyumba si bure, mumelipia. Hizo miaka zote tayari mumeshalipia hizo manyumba. So it is not a free house. Because I'll give you an example, Your Excellency.
RUTO, who has defended the affordable housing program every time, signed it into law last week at State House Nairobi, giving it the green light for the return of housing levy deductions. The bill becoming law means that 1.5% tax from both the employee and his or her employer will be deducted every end of the month. Even as a section of Kenyans complain against the levy, he has hailed the legislation, saying it is the cure to the high rate of unemployment in the country. Brana Mwai, Lookuptv.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said success in the fight against illicit brews will lead to increased life expectancy in the country. Speaking in Meru on Saturday, Gachagua noted that apart from a declining life expectancy, alcohol and drug abuse had drastically decelerated birth rates in the country. The DP committed to leading the fight against the sale of illicit alcohol from the front, especially in the Mount Kenya region, which has over time emerged as the most affected region in the country. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua noted apart from declining life expectancy, alcohol and drug abuse had drastically decelerated birth rates in the country.
We are in tears as we try to salvage our whole community. And had we, the President and I, not taken this decision, this region and indeed the entire country would be wiped out in the next 10 years. We will do what we must do. We ask the support of everybody. We are going to change the law. We are asking the governors to cooperate, and they are willing to do so, so that we take away from them the licensing function to NACADA. Our members of parliament are here. They'll help us to fast track. Then the governors can collect the revenue, and then they can remove themselves from the process so that it's not politicized. And NACADA can license who needs to be licensed, and the county government can collect the revenue. And I think this battle will be won.
The DP termed the eradication of poisonous liquors as pivotal in molding and protecting the future generation, especially in the Mount Kenya region.
I want to encourage the people of Kenya to talk to us where they find there is still impunity, that these things are going on despite the orders we have given. Let them tell us, and we shall take action immediately. So let EACC do their job.
Gachagua reiterated his commitment to eradicating the consumption of illicit brews, stating that nothing will stop the government from backing down in the fight against illicit brew in the country.
As a government, we cannot condone any officer to extort money from people in this crackdown. And we have even talked about our officers who are involved in conflict of interest. Many officers who are running bus, people from KRA who are running bus. That's why we are having a problem.
John Matava, Lookuptv. You're watching Lookup Weekend, 9:15 p.m. We are off for a break. We'll be coming back with more news for you. Stick around.
University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to modern libraries equipped with the latest resources, we provide you with the tools you need to succeed. Choose from a wide range of programs designed to prepare you for challenges of tomorrow's world. Whether in STEM, humanities, business, or the arts, our strong industry connections and career service support will help you translate your education into meaningful career opportunities upon graduation. Join a vibrant community of scholars from around the world, fostering cultural exchange, collaboration, and lifelong friendships. Book your space now for September intakes. Log in to https://www.uonbi.ac.ke for a wide range of courses to choose from. You can also contact +254 020 491 0000 or email us at pr@ounbi.ac.ke.
Mambo ni mawili: kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Bua muka we mse. Nini mbaya? Wewe kwani wani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya? Lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time hata angalia barabara. Tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe. Mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 1000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us, and of course keep your comments coming. We'll be sampling them before the end of the broadcast. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC has called out the public officials in the multi-agency vetting team of the ongoing crackdown on the sale of illicit and second-generation alcoholic drinks in the country. The commission accuses the teams of turning the suitability vetting of bars into an extortion syndicate, thus compromising with the government efforts in addressing the menace, according to EACC spokesperson Eric Ngombi. There are reports that some of the officials are compromising with the vetting exercise by demanding or accepting bribes in order to pardon or waive enforcement action against the bar operators who have not complied with the regulations against illicit and second-hand generation alcoholic drinks in the country.
Kwamba kuna yale mambo ya pombe haramu ambayo serikali inapingana nayo hivi sasa. Mnajua ya kwamba pia serikali imeamua ya kwamba wale ambao ni operators wa bar, wale ambao wanahusika na second hand generation ya pombe, wanatakiwa wafanyiwe ile vetting, ile suitability vetting ya kuhakikisha kwamba wamefanya compliance na zile regulations zimewekwa, kwa sababu ile pombe ambayo ni haramu inawaadhiri watoto wetu. Tume ya EACC inasikitika kugundua kwamba the ugly head, face and the tail of corruption has found its way to the vetting exercise, ile ambayo inatakiwa kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao hawafai kushiriki biashara hii wameondolewa. Tume ya EACC inaendelea kumonitor ile exercise ambayo inafanywa na Mount Angels team. Ndani kuna KRA, kuna KEBS, na kada, county government na polisi. Lakini tunapata ripoti ya kwamba baadhi ya wale enforcement officers ambao wanatakiwa kufanya vetting ya bar owners and operators ili wajue yule ambaye anafaa kuendelea ama yule ambaye anatakiwa kucomply, badala ya kufanya kazi hiyo, wengi wao wamengeuza ile vetting kuwa chombo cha kuitisha ongo. In other words, corruption has found its way in the vetting exercise that is supposed to ensure that the licenses for persons who can legitimately operate bars are given to the correct ones.
Isiolo Governor Abdi Ibrahim Guyo has slammed the recent allegations by the Senate Public Accounts Committee on his administration failure. Senate Public Accounts Committee on his administration's failure. This comes after the oversight tour led by the chairperson Moses Kajwang, accusing the county government of mismanagement of public funds and failure to complete the county projects.
Weeks after the Senate Public Accounts Committee visited Isiolo County to assess the situation, the questions were raised by Senator Fatuma Dulo, a tour that saw the committee slam the governor of a misappropriation of county funds. Isiolo Governor Abdi Ibrahim Guyo has refuted the allegations leveled against him, noting his administration's main agenda is proper service delivery.
Mimi nimesema sina wakati ya kupiga sia biashara ya domokaya. Mimi nataka munigage na ile waki binafanya. Munipatie kiti mara ya pili kwa ile kazi nimefanya. Na nilisema mimi Guyo kama sijafanya kazi siwezi rudi kuomba nini?
Speaking during the commissioning of two borehole water projects in Akadeli and Abaju wards, Guyo criticized the senators for their choice of projects to visit, which he deemed as malicious and with a political motive to tarnish his administration's image.
Ilisikia nyinyi msema unajua hospitali hata haina parado. Alafu sivile walikuja hakuingia kwa hospitali kuangalia kama haina parado au iko nayo. Waliingia. Kwa sababu wanajua hospitali iko na madawa, tuliongeza manake sasa tini, tukaandika clinical officers, kwa sababu story yao ya upoje hawakuingia. Mimi kwa mwaka moja na nusu ile kazi nimefanya Isiolo County, mimi mnajua kwa miaka 10 ya maji. Wale ambao wamezoea kuzuia watu kazi ati wanataka kuzuia D4G focus. My friend, I cannot lose focus.
Isiolo County Assembly Speaker Mohamed Robakoto also defended the county executive against the Senate's verdict, emphasizing the role of the county assembly is overseeing the government's performance.
Sisi kama county assembly ambayo tunafaa kuwa ni the primary oversight authority katika county government. Hatujaona kama hii county government iko na shida. Na sijui watu wanatoka Nairobi, watu wanatoka Eldoret, wengine wanatoka Homa Bay huko mbali, wanakuja hapa alafu within 2 hours wanasema hii serikali ni serikali imekufa.
Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
The government has pledged to support the victims of the tragic accident that claimed the lives of 11 students from the Kenyatta University in Maungu area on March 18, 2024. Speaking at the memorial service held at the University on Sunday, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu stated that the Ministry of Education shall continue to collaborate with the school and the injured victims in hospitals. Also present at the service was First Lady Rachel RUTO, who conveyed a condolence message from President William Ruto along his money to assist the victims' families.
With my soul, it is well, it is well.
These 11 students died at a very young age. A number of them were 21, 22 years. Indeed, it was at the very prime age that they passed on. The government of William Samoei Ruto, from that night, we have been cooperating very, very closely with the Vice Chancellor and the Chair of Council in mobilizing all that was required, particularly in airlifting those who were affected from Foy up to Avenue Hospital. And I thank all of them because they came in very handy and we were able to evacuate as quickly as it was possible.
To all motorists, my plea is that we exercise caution at all times. Let us be more vigilant and courteous on our roads, ensuring our safety and that of other road users. In closing, let us always remember the moments we shared with our loved ones. May their spirits live in our hearts forever. During this trying and difficult season, my prayer for you is from Philippians chapter 4, verses 7, and I quote, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." Amen. May we all be comforted. May our children's souls rest in eternal peace.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers has slammed the national government over the reduced capitation per students across the country. As Ian Keitani now files, the union, led by its National Deputy Treasurer Kennedy Nyamwanda, claimed that school principals are straining heavily as capitation provided is not enough.
With at least 65 billion set aside for the education sector to cater for the studies of at least 4.2 million students countrywide, the funds translating to reduced capitation of 17,000 down from 22,000 per student. According to the Education PS Belio Kipsang, National Deputy Treasurer Kennedy Nyamwanda has called out the government over the reduction in capitation, noting that the funds are not enough amid the tough economic times.
As NAT, we are saying that the capitation per child, it is either increased or it remains where it was, but not decreased. We are going through very hard economic times. Very hard economic times. This is not the time you can reduce capitation. This is not the time you can say that you have reduced capitation per pupil from 22,000 to 17. No.
Nyamwanda further slammed the Teacher Service Commission over the promotion of only 36,000 teachers against the target of 100,000, questioning the credibility of the entire process.
Our teachers who were left out are very many. Promoting only 36,000 teachers is just a drop in the ocean. And just a drop in the ocean. Our teachers who deserve promotions, who have stagnated in one grade for many years, are more than 100. And therefore, let TSC not hide behind the budget.
Speaking after the election of Mercy Chege as a NAT chairperson, Kiambu East Branch, Nyamwanda castigated the National Assembly Education Committee, calling on the chairperson Julius Meli to ensure the committee focuses on contentious issues facing the education sector.
Recently, we had issues with the Parliamentary Education Committee because you cannot summon us and start asking us about the data which you can easily get in Teacher Service Commission. We don't own data. We read some mischief in some of the questions they were posing to us. And we want to call upon this Parliamentary Education Committee to steer clear, to stay away from politics and be objective. Be objective.
Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Riara Springs Girls High School are the winners of the STEM Tricks Robotics Competition Nairobi edition. The competition that attracted 19 schools from the region saw Nanobites, a group from Riara Springs, emerge victorious after the robotics game and a project on food security collected the most points. Simba Elijah Kiage was in attendance and filed the following report.
Speaking after collecting their awards, the girls were elected to beat boy schools who had enrolled in the competition, and stress on how robotics had made it fun for them to learn STEM subject and consequently emerged winners in the competition.
In FarmLight, we want farmers to interact with other farmers, with geoscientists, so that they may get their solutions to their problems.
We've sacrificed a lot to get to this point as a whole team. I think we can all agree. Yes.
Ifesa Ali, the main judge for the project that the students presented, commended the participants for the creativity they showcased in the competition.
In terms of the project itself, we were very keen to look at the problem statement, the solution, how they researched the data, and if in research in terms of were they just seated on a computer or were they able to go and interview farmers and stuff. So that was one. In terms of core values, we wanted to just see, are they working as a team? There was everyone included, inclusivity.
Secretary General for the Internet Society of Kenya, Mr. Apudo Hawi, stressed on the importance of such competitions in the curriculum, which according to him challenged the students to innovate and harness their core values to come up with solutions to the current world challenges.
So these are very complex issues that I believe that they can be solved in STEM and they can be solved in schools, because coding is very important and robotics is something that's solved this kind of thing.
STEM Tricks director Christina Chiang, while reveling in the success of the competition, reiterated her satisfaction at seeing youth coming up with the creative ways to solve food and nutrition challenges.
So what we do here is project-based learning, where students are able to go back, dig in, talk to mentors, talk to people within the industry, and come up with solutions on why we have to deal with the kind of challenges that we're having, and the sort of solutions that we can implement to make things work and to make things right.
Initiatives like what STEM Tricks East Africa is doing right here in the Kenyan schools is a true testament that indeed STEM can be promoted in different and exciting ways. Today has been a showcase of projects and competitions in robotics that have led us to stand with the winners right here, Riara Springs Girls High School, who have emerged winners, beating even boys who've been known to dominate these competitions. The hope for them is that they can go all the way to the international stage and represent Kenya. The lesson for us that indeed STEM can be taught in different ways. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kirinyaga, and this is Lookuptv, reporting from Brook House, Nairobi.
Many thanks, Simba. Introducing a new initiative aimed at empowering girls and combating harmful practices like early marriage and female genital mutilation in Narok. A special academy called New Dawn has opened its doors to the Masai Mara region. As George Kayesi now reports, this academy will provide a safe haven for girls seeking refuge from retrogressive practices and also offer education support and opportunities for a brighter future.
In a bit over the issue of early marriage and female genital mutilation, a beacon of hope emerged in the nave of Mara Silalei Academy in Masai Mara, an academy established with support from German-based organization Nehemiah Mungu.
The Maasai people, the parents, the community are very grateful, you see, because they didn't have a future, most of them.
Elena, the academy's director, emphasized that many of the rescued girls had faced despair in the prospect of premature marriages to match older men.
These two girls have never had an opportunity to go to school, and they were to be given out for marriage. You see, their suitors were already ready to give them out. I mean, they were to be given out to old men, this is your age, to marry them. But they ran out into the night, and they came to Mara Silalei. We embraced them, and today they are able to proceed on with their education.
Also in Samburu County, a significant meeting was held at the Anglican Church in Marala Town, where the National Council of Churches convened to tackle the pressing concern of tragic killings afflicting the region. They underscored the critical importance of immediate government action to strengthen security in areas plagued by ongoing banditry. Furthermore, they appealed to security agencies in neighboring counties to engage in dialogue aimed at promoting peace and putting an end to the senseless loss of innocent lives without delay.
Kumekuwa na persistent attacks katika belt yetu, na kuangalia mambo haya ama kushughulikia mambo haya, tumeweza kujadili na tukaona ya kwamba security agencies katika Samburu County na county ambazo zinapakana na county yetu ya Samburu waweze kuwa na restructured dialogue na kuweza kuketi chini na citizen ama jamii zote waweze kuzungumza ili kuweza kupata njia ambayo mwafaka tunaweza kuwa na amani.
Human rights advocates have voiced dissatisfaction with religious leaders, accusing them of prioritizing the wrong issues and failing to address femicide and gender-based violence in Kenya. During a peaceful demonstration, representatives from the Nakuru Reproductive Health Network highlighted the perceived silence of institutions such as the Kenya Professional Forum, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, and the National Council of Churches in Kenya, amid the alarming rates of violent deaths and ongoing instances of violence against women and children nationwide.
Marching to call out the hypocrisy of those who call themselves the moral custodians of our country, but they always choose to remain silent when members of the community are killed. We demand that they speak up and march for all Kenyans.
Stop hiding behind other initiatives that you want to promote. Please let us protect the constitution of this country. It took the blood of innocent Kenyans to have this promulgated constitution.
George Kayesi, Lookuptv.
Time for some sporting action. AFC Leopards SC held several matches in their 60th year celebrations at Nyayo Stadium on Sunday. The celebrations, which were attended by various political leaders led by President William RUTO and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, among others, saw Ingwe play several matches. The Leopards secured 2 1-all draws against Shabana FC and Gor Mahia FC. AFC culminated their celebrations with a friendly match against Ramasa from Spain. The celebrations also involved legends matches as well as ladies encounters, among others. Barcelona Ladies and Lisa FC are the champions of the 4th edition of Safaricom Chapadimba tournament in the Central Region. Barcelona Ladies clinched the title after 5-0 win over St. Joseph. In the boys category, Lisa FC defeated M-Pesa Foundation Academy 3-2. Both teams went home with 250,000 Kenyan shillings and a ticket to represent the Central Region in the national finals next month in Kisumu County.
Tulikuwa kwa champions kwa mara ya 3 na tunaiweka forever. Kwa hivyo sasa itafute kikombe kingine. Then wale wasichana walipata msukumo kutoka kwa wale watangulizi wao. Juu wanawaambia kila siku tunawaocha, wanawafuatilia kwa mtandao. Na wanatuambia sisi hatukuifanya mchezo. Tuliweka historia, lazima historia muimaintain.
Captain Lisa FC from Laikipia. Leo game haikuwa rahisi. Lakini tumeng'ang'ana, tumefight our way through it. Imekuwa ngumu, they know ball pia. Haikuwa one-sided. Lakini football is a game of chance. Ametupa zao, tumefunga zetu, and that's why we are winners.
Ni mara ya kwanza tumeingia kwenye Chapadimba, lakini vijana walikuwa shakuwa determined. Vijana wako tayari, wako safi, prepared kushinda. So sisi hatukuwa tunakuja kama watu wa mara ya kwanza, tumekuja kama watu ambao tumejipanga kujua kitu tumekuja kutafuta. Next week tutaanza kujipanga. Tumeona tumelearn. Asante sana Safaricom wameleta the digitalization vest ambazo tunaweza monitor kila player alikuwa anafanya nini. Tutawork na hizo, tutachange vitu 2-3. Tukifika muda wa kwenda Kisumu tutakuwa tayari sana kubambana na yule ambaye atakuja upande wetu.
Wrapping just to cross-check on our socials on Facebook. Kennedy Jumba Asirigwa says, and I quote, Wakenya tunaomba madereva wawe waangalifu barabarani na kufuata sheria za barabarani. Ajali imekuwa ikiongezeka sana. Is watching from Likuyani in Kakamega County. Many thanks Kennedy. And Robert Rotich says, this is your responsibility, Mr. President. And Dixon Erukan watching live from ICD Nairobi. We are saying many thanks for watching, and those that made this bulletin a success, many thanks. My name is John Matava. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Felista Adundo. Have a good night. By then, bye-bye for now.